Mid-November last year, YieldMax announced a change to the way they are going to build their portfolio for ULTY. And that change included adding more stable companies. For example, they added Alphabet, they added NVIDIA. As you can see here, they have other services. So the previous portfolio of ULTY included a bunch of smaller stock and very volatile stock because they wanted to have that volatility to generate that higher income. But that didn't work well. So they decided to do this way to stabilize the NAV for ULTY. But that change so far hasn't worked well. And in today's video, I'm going to explore the bad news for ULTY, and I'm going also to share some good news. But that's the main focus we're going to focus today is this video. So if you want to know more details about the ULTY update, make sure you watch till the end. The first thing I'm going to show you here is good news. Good news is that ULTY, despite it being going down in price, it keeps paying its weekly distributions. The last distribution they paid was 50 cents, and that was paid on January 29. And the next distribution is going to be tomorrow, February 5th. However, the distribution they're going to pay the first week of February is a little bit less, 5 cents less than what they paid last week and the week before. So there is a little decrease there, but they've always paid from lower distribution to higher distributions. That's to be expected. ULTY net asset as of now stands at 1.19 billion. Remember, ULTY used to have almost a 4 billion in net asset, but because of its bad performance, it has declined progressively to where it is today. For people who haven't invested in ULTY, you do have to understand if you invest in ULTY, this is actively managed ETF. That means you are going to be charged, and their gross expense ratio is 1.4. So it's a little bit expensive as compared to your just plain vanilla ETFs. And based off the last distribution they're going to pay, the yield is 65.9%, round up to about 66%. This is how much you are making per year. And of course, the distribution is paid weekly. And the return of capital from last distribution was 100%. That means the 45 cents you're getting per share, 100% of that came from return of capital. Now, if you look at the ULTY performance since inception, it has returned annualized negative 0.05%. So it's pretty much flat, meaning after all the reverse split and after all the distribution you have received, with its share price performance, you haven't made any money. Of course, if you reinvest all your distributions, there is another different math to this, and I'm going to show you that in a bit. Okay, if you look at these numbers here, you can see the ULTY price today is 34.57. It went down 3.20% because most of the US stock today were really bad. Nasdaq went down over 2%. Given that ULTY has a bunch of tech stock, this is to be expected. But after hours, they seem to be rebounding to less than 1% or 23 cents. But if you look at these numbers here, it's very disappointing. You can see total return with the drip, meaning even if you drip your money with ULTY, you are negative 2%. And if you didn't drip, you still negative 2%. But share price has declined by 82.1%. And if you look at the dividend increase, it has decreased by 95%. But again, actually, this website here didn't adjust for share price split and also the dividend decrease because remember, it used to pay a little bit higher when it was paying monthly distributions versus now it's paying weekly distributions. This website didn't count. So that's things you need to watch out. Whenever you go to website, you have to also be familiar with how these numbers play out. But all in all, as you can see here, this is a chart of ULTY. So what's the bad news for ULTY? I'm going to show you here in a bit. Okay, guys, on this channel, I always keep you very important update on these high yield ETFs. So if you don't want to miss any of our new videos, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you find this video informative and helpful to you, please smash the like button. And if you have any comment, make sure you leave your comment below. I'm going to try my best to answer all the comments as soon as I can. On Seeking Alpha website, we have an update, and a very important and very disappointing and worrisome. ULTY doubtfully that the strategy change will reduce NAV erosion rating upgrade. I'm going to read a bit about this. And there's another update here. This was on January 27, about 8 days ago. And the other update here, Yale Mirage, why ULTY is a sell while YieldMax remain a hold. So these are just analysts and their updates and news about ULTY. And there are a lot of analysts who covers this type of stuff. So if you want to know more about the update, you can go to Seeking Alpha. It's one of the best website I like. It has good information. But of course, this is just analysis. It is not a science. They can be wrong as well. But now let me show you. YieldMax Ultra Option Income Strategy ETF is downgraded to hold following a major strategy overhaul aimed at reducing NAV erosion. As I've mentioned earlier, YieldMax did update their ETF construction. They changed it to make sure it doesn't have that NAV erosion. But since a split, it keeps going down. ULTY now allocates up to 50% to large cap, lower volatility equity, and uses leveraged put spread strategies, seeking improved price stability and upside. Despite a 70% yield, persistent NAV erosion and shrinking distributions raise concerns about long-term sustainability and income reliability. Frequent return of capital distributions and amplify downside risk from leverage-tempered investors, making it more suitable if the yield stabilizes near 40%. Of course, the yield is higher, but they keep paying a return of capital, and also NAV keeps going down. So this is very concerning. If you look at this chart here, you can see ULTY on December 1st. That's when it started its price after reverse split. That was here, December 1st, 2025. And the price at that point was about $39.95, so closer to $40. Right now is at 34. That means it has declined by about $5 since then. Despite ULTY having to change their strategy, this ETF keeps falling. But the only thing I would say about this is that the market itself has been going down. If you look at the S&P 500, if you look at the NASDAQ, everything is just falling right now, including crypto. ULTY is not the only thing that's falling. Maybe this could be just because of the market hiccups. Will ULTY ever recover? That's to be seen. If you're an investor who is looking for higher yield, then this could be an ETF maybe to pick shares at this point, only if you know that you might be not getting your return as you expected. You can take that risk and do your research. Just make sure you do your thorough research before buying ULTY or any other investment. So guys, I really appreciated that you stayed this long watching this video. Make sure you smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you can always receive new updates. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on next video. Bye bye.